Hey YouTube, it's ICU and welcome to the 67th episode of Best Tech Info and Rumors. And first I wanted to start off by talking about the untethered jailbreak from Pod2G. So first of all, he did report that he ran into some A5 caching issues. However, shortly after that, he reported that those issues have been resolved and that he was back on track to developing the untethered jailbreak for the iPhone 4S and the iPad 2 on iOS 5.0.1. And then after that, he released a video demonstrating the untethered jailbreak on 5.0.1 for the iPhone 4. And that video is basically just to reiterate that he does indeed have the untethered jailbreak working on older iDevices. And just yesterday, he did announce that he is delegating the jailbreak for older iDevices to the Chronic dev team. So basically, he's leaving everything up to them, all the way from actually completing the jailbreak, testing it again, compiling it, and releasing the utility. So we will see a untethered jailbreak for iOS 5 and 5.0.1 for older iDevices from the Chronic dev team. And basically he's doing that so he can devote all of his time and energy to actually getting the jailbreak working on the two A5 based devices, which would be the iPhone 4S and the iPad 2. But hopefully though, by the time the Chronic dev team finishes with all of the older devices, which would be the iPhone 4, iPhone 3GS, iPod Touch 4th and 3rd generation, as well as the first iPad, then Pod2G will be done with his jailbreak for the A5 based devices, and hopefully they'll be able to make it into one utility. However, it's entirely possible that Pod2G will wait until iOS 5.1 hits so that he doesn't waste an exploit that he spent a couple months trying to find and perfect. Moving away from jailbreak news, it's been reported that the special version of iOS 5.0.1 that was just released for iPhone 4S users is actually to fix a SIM card related issue. So if you've been receiving any SIM card errors on the iPhone 4S, hopefully with this new version of iOS 5.0.1, those issues won't be a problem anymore. Also, Apple released a new Siri commercial that basically has Santa Claus using the iPhone 4S and using Siri to navigate his way around, and also checking his calendar for remaining appointments. Now, the iPhone dev team recently released a new version of Red Snow that includes native support for iOS 5.0.1, so that means that you won't have to download your IPSW and point Red Snow at it anymore, and it just makes the entire process much easier. So I did do a new jailbreak video on that, and I will have a link to that down below in the more info, and I highly recommend doing it if you're on an older device. Again, it is a tethered jailbreak and it only works for the iPhone 4, iPhone 3GS, iPod Touch 4th and 3rd generation, as well as the original iPad. Also, Apple started offering free next day shipping for the holidays, so if you did order the other day, you would have been able to have received your purchases from Apple on your doorstep by December 24th, so that's the day before Christmas. And that actually was a pretty great deal, considering that's basically free next day shipping. And moving on, Google's Mac operations team is actually developing a series of internal Mac tools that will basically help Google developers and administrators who are using a Mac. Also, Real Racing 2 and Limbo were just released to the Mac App Store, and for those of you that don't know, Real Racing 2 is basically Fireman's main game for iOS, and now it has made its way onto the Mac App Store, and it comes with some really great additions such as improved graphics due to the more powerful hardware that it's now able to run on, as well as the ability to use your iPhone, iPod Touch, or your iPad to actually control the car that you're racing. So those are definitely some really nice additions, and they also made a couple other minor changes. And Limbo, as most of you know, is a really popular Xbox arcade game, as well as a game that's available for the PS3 and the PC. So it has made its way onto the Mac App Store now, and we're also expecting to see BioShock 2 on the Mac App Store sometime in January. And finally, US residents can actually buy the PS Vita 2 months before its official release date in the United States, and that's because the Japanese model was released on the 17th of December, and US residents can actually buy the Japanese model and have it shipped from Japan to the United States. And basically the only real downside to actually having a Japanese model is the fact that you won't be able to play any games that are in English until it's officially released in the United States and the games are available. But I mean, everything on the device itself is basically in English, and that includes even the start and select buttons, and you can change the menu and interface to actually be in English, and the packaging itself is multilingual. So basically you're getting a regular PS Vita. The only downside is that, again, you won't be able to play any English games until it is officially released. So if you guys want to check that out, and if you guys have an extra $200 to shell out on top of the PS Vita's retail price, then I definitely recommend buying it. So again, I'll have a link to the post down below in the more info, and it actually has a place where you can buy it. However, they only have a limited supply of the PS Vita in stock. So that's it for this video. Also remember that you can gain additional entries to the giveaway that I'm doing in collaboration with Friday Night Cranks to possibly win a brand new iPhone 4S. All you have to do is rate this video up, favorite it, and leave a comment down below in the comment section with the phrase FNC ICU iPhone. Once you do that, again, you will be entered to possibly win the brand new iPhone 4S. Also, just remember to hit that subscribe button to be notified every time I release a new video. And if you want to be updated more often, just be sure to follow my Twitter accounts, like my Facebook fan page, and add me to one of your circles inside of Google+. And don't forget to stay tuned for more news and updates related to the status of the untethered jailbreak for iOS 5 and 5.0.1. Until next time, this is ICU, signing out.